Week 7. Rival week's over, and I won by 0.6. That's right, 0.6. 0.6 of a point. Sweet, sweet victory. Thanks, Jace. Nick lost to Chris. Big surprise. Chris is 6-0. Jake beat Joe. I think that's my favorite rivalry, I think, because that just has some lasting hate. I mean, there was just so much love at the drafts, and then just to turn that all against each other, I think that's my favorite rivalry. I do like this one too. Barry and Bryce, with Bryce winning 142 to 127. Good game there. And then we go to Todd and Tim. Tim with his first win. Tim, change your team name to Detroit Lions. Maybe you can follow them down to 1-15. Tim with 144 and Todd 107. So it was quite the blowout by Tim, putting up the most points of the week. And Kenny and Pat. Hopefully you guys got some work rivalry going on over there. Pat with the win on that one, making Pat at the top of his division. And we're going to take a look at the divisions. And we're going to go to Eddie Murphy, which is whatever, I didn't know what to name him. Pat atop it with 4-2. Joe right underneath at 3-3. With Todd underneath at 3-3. With Jason underneath at 3-3. With Nick underneath at 3-3. I thought we were really going to branch away from this whole combo thing, and one guy stood atop all of them. Actually, two. And we're going to spotlight him here in a little bit with Bryson 2-4. And Pat really took hold of that division. I mean, he's one game ahead. There's anything, he's just so far ahead. No, he's not. That division's up for grabs by anybody. And we're going to go through some must-wins here in my predictions. And then we'll switch over to my division with me and Chris atop. Chris 6-0, me 5-1. And we got 4 people really fighting for the 3 spot. I guess I shouldn't get too cocky, but I'm thinking me and Chris are a shoo-in. Jake at 3-3. Had a must-win last week and did it. Barry lost with a 2-4 record. And then Tim brought up 1-5, and Kenny brought up 1-5. Really, anything's possible in my division as well for the 3rd spot. I guess if I go on a just a terrible losing streak, they could really jump up. But really looking at a 3rd place for all 3 of those. Okay. We're going to spotlight Bryce's team over here. I really think Bryce can take hold of the bottom part of this division with a lot of these teams falling apart. Nick's got some bye weeks, got some people on bye this week. Let's see, I think Jason does as well. Let's see, Jason's got, I guess not. Demaryius Thomas, top receiver, is out, but I don't think that's going to hurt him. He's got some good backups. So maybe Jace's a contender. Let's see, Joe's actually pretty strong, too. We'll go to the scoreboard, and let me see. Sorry, guys, let's break down this team. Okay, Bryce's team. With Carson Palmer, Frank Gore, Lamar Miller as his top 3. I think Lamar Miller really picks up later half of the season. It gets going, so we have that to work with. Calvin Johnson. Detroit's going to be playing from behind a lot. I think Calvin could really pick up a lot. I mean, we seen last week he was killing it. Hopefully it sticks, but that's the Lions. That's another story. Jarvis Landry, Charles Clay. I don't really know about Jarvis Landry. I know he does some kick returns, so he gets some extra points. And he's got Matt Stafford and Josh McCown. And actually, they're both kind of middle-of-the-road quarterbacks, so good QB2s with the Cardinals defense, number 2, solid defense. And then he's got Brandon Marshall and Tevin Coleman. If Devontae Freeman goes out, I think that's a great grab. And I think Brandon Marshall's a solid wide receiver on his bench. So his team does have some potential. And if he goes and grabs a win this week, I think he really starts thinking about jumping up in the polls there. Let's see, Week 7 predictions. Oh, you know what? Let's break down another team. I want to go through Pat's team, too. If Pat really gets a victory, he could really solidify him as the number 1, because there is just nothing going on over there with Russ Wilson, Le'Veon Bell. I think those 2 are solid. Shane Vereen, let's see what else he's got. He's got Giovanni Bernard's a solid running back, but he's on a bye this week, so he's got A.J. Green. So he does have a solid team. Picked up Tavon Austin. I don't know if you're on ride that train. I grabbed him for a week. He did okay. Got me a touchdown. Golden Tate, Kyle Rudolph, Colin Kaepernick over Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know. That's a toss-up, but Teddy's position ranked 31st, so yeah, I guess go with Colin on that one. yeah, like I said, that division's up for grabs, and if the two bottom can really get a win there, Bryce and Pat could really do some damage jumping up in the polls. But I wouldn't count any of them out, all 3 and 3s, the middle of that pack there. They really need to start branching out. And we're going to go into the predictions as a lot of must-wins this week with Joe against me. I would pick myself to win, but Joe really needs a win to really jump up in there. Tim, he needs to ride that wave that he's got, 1 and 5, against Nick, who also needs a win to really get going in that league. Chris, I'd say this is the only team here that doesn't need a win is Chris. Chris can afford maybe 2 or 3 losses and still be fine, with Jason needing a win at 3 and 3. I'm sorry, I didn't even. Let's pick Tim to win. Tim's got the line by 42 points with Nick's whole team on a bye week, so we're gonna go with Tim on that one. Chris against Jason. If any week to beat him, Dalton is on a bye week. I think this is the week, so go Jason. Todd against Bryce. Again, both teams need a win. Both teams need to jump up in that division and really do something, and I'm going to take Bryce's team this week. Go Bryce. Kenny and Jake. Kenny, this is a real must-win for sure. 1 and 5, and Jake's 3 and 3. He's a position you need to beat, so if you do beat him, he'll probably stay there, but you'll jump up a notch, and that's what you want to do. You want to keep him right there and just kind of surpass him. So I'm going with Parker on that one. Parker's got the superior team with Kenny having, I think Peyton Manning's on a bye this week, so I'm going to go with Parker. And then Barry and Pat, again, a must-win. Pat needs a win to jump ahead and really take control. And Barry needs a win to get the season back on and jump back into playoff talk with half his team on bye week, though. Aaron Rodgers, Ronnie Hillman, and James Jones on bye. That's really going to be hard to jump into that with Marcus Mariota's questionable. I think he'll still play, so you might be fine on that one. I know I talked about a Week 10 meetup. I'll check my schedule out, and we'll see where we're at. I keep saying it every week, but I don't know my schedule yet. I think next week I'll know it, and then we'll get there. I mean, I'd like it to be a Sunday, but I guess if it's a weekend for any of you guys, it'll work out fine. And other than that, let me know if I missed anything. Get ready for a good week. Like I said, a lot of must-wins to really see it. I wouldn't count anybody out right now. It's middle of the season, and I think we got some contenders up at the tops. I'm going to go through one more time. The standings. Oh, we didn't go through my power rankings. That's what we're going to do. Power rankings to end the edition. And as we already know, Chris is on top. I'm in second. And we have a new third place this week with Pat. He was 5th last week. He jumped up 2, so he's 3rd place now. Joe dropped down from 3rd. He's in 4th, but I still think he's got a solid team. He's 712 points, so he has the most points out of them 3 and 3s, I think. And Todd is in 5th now. He's down from 4th. And Jake is up 2 from 8th and 6th. So if playoffs happened, it would be me, Chris, and Jake in my division, and Pat, Joe, and Todd in that division. But season's not over. We got Bryce, I put at 7th place. He's 3 up from 10th. I think at 2 and 4, he's got 721 points. He's got more points than anybody in his division. And he has had the most points scored against him. So I think it's a lot of bad luck. That's why we spotlighted him. I think he's a team to watch out for. Jason, the champ, has really dropped down. He's in 8th place. He's 2 down from 6th, so he's out of the playoff talk until he proves his worth there. And Nick is right there with them. So they both have 6.8. He's got 618 points for Jason, 616 for Nick, and Nick's 2 down from 7th to 9th this week. So I put those 2 at 3 and 3. Even Bryce being 2 and 4, I think he's got more powerful team right now. Barry at 10th. He's down from 9. Like I said, Barry really needs to win. Tim up from last place to 11th with 1 and 5. He made a win, thank God, so I guess he won't go winless. And Kenny in last. But halfway through the season, get a victory, you two, and I'll start talking some more positives. So other than that, have a good week.